Hello everyone, Dr. Confessor here with Xena. She sure does love being in the background. So, here's book review number 2. I finished this book a couple days ago and it really messed me up. Like, I had to take a couple days to process. I actually expected this because I had read another book by this author previously, which he writes a lot of mysteries, but mysteries that they're not based on truth, but it's stuff that's very real world, not like the old whodunit mystery kind of thing. Anyways, let me try to explain through this book. So, it's called The Rag and Bone Shop by Robert Cormier. He died back in the early 2000s, so this is actually the very last book he wrote before he died. So yeah, really think about that too. But I really enjoy his books. This is the second book that I've read of him. I have one more book that I kind of want to read next, but then I'm like, I don't really want to do the same author 2 times in a row. So I might hold that off till later in the summer and find a different book to read. But anyways, so this one, The Rag and Bone Shop, is about an interrogator. He's the top interrogator. His name's Trent. And he always gets a confession. So he's getting all these special privileges, and everyone wants him to come and... Sorry, let me take these off. The glare's bugging me. So people are always asking him to come and get a confession of someone. A previous case, his confession had been thrown out because of the way it was, but the people were still convicted. So there's a couple people in the book who are like, should he confess? Should he get this person to... Should we have this person interrogating this certain suspect? Now, this suspect, he's 12 years old. His name's Jason. He's kind of a loner. He had gotten into a fight the previous year because he saw a boy do something that the girl never came forward with, and so he just kind of waited for the opportunity where the boy ended up pushing him, and so he just full-blown attacked him. That's his only form of past aggression. He also likes to read Stephen King. So again, that's like, oh, you like violent books. Okay. So he's brought in to question the suspect. The police really think that this boy did it. And the crime that he did was his best friend. Well, closest to her best friend that he has. Her name is Alicia. She was 7 years old, and she was found murdered. And Jason was the last one to see her alive. At least that's what the police believe. I'm not going to say whether he did it or not. I'm not going to tell you whether or not Trent got the confession. But this book is really good. It's very, very intense. You really want to know, okay, did the boy actually do this or not? You learn a little bit of Trent's personal life. Not too much. That's the one part, it's like... I actually think he did a good job not going too much into Trent's personal life, actually. He brought up things that were important to him as an investigator. Goes a bit more into Jason's personal life, obviously, because he's the suspect. And I believe that the author did a very good job of going back and forth very subtly between Trent's point of view and Jason's point of view during the interrogation. I think that was actually very, very well written. In this book, it's a short book. I know the book makes it look longer because there's like an interview in the back from Robert. And then there's like reading group discussions for teachers. So I kind of like that. Although I would be very careful with the group of students if you decide to read a book from him. Definitely teenagers. Definitely get permission from parents, just because there are things in the books. So the book is really only like 154 pages long. Very short read, at least for me, who's used to reading like 500-page books. But it did take me a couple days to actually get through it, just because of the intensity of it. And it does bring up a lot of questions about what makes a confession. What should interrogators be allowed to do? Stuff like that. Like, the ending actually made me so angry. I will tell you that. Like, I was so mad. Like, I was literally in tears angry, which rarely happens. Like, I'm already starting to, like, tear up again. Just thinking about it. Yeah, it, like, really was like, what just happened? And it also brings up a lot of questions as to what makes someone a murderer. I'll leave that one there for you to read. So, my rating are 5 stars. I'm thinking I actually give this one a 5. Just because I can't really think of anything that's wrong with it. The writing style was awesome. The character development was interesting. It's literally like the book is like the night before the interrogation, and then the whole book is the interrogation. Like it was really, really good in my opinion. So if you have read this book, I would really like to know your opinions down in the comments. If you haven't, I really encourage you to read this book. And if you think of any books that I should read next, please comment below. As you can see, I have a huge giant collection of books. I also have a lot of books in my living room. I have 2 bookcases and then a 3rd bookcase, a small one. Let me add that, a small bookcase in the living room. Actually, I have 2 small bookcases. I forget about the other one because it has a lot of like my spiritual books on that bookshelf. So I actually have 4 bookcases of books. So yeah, I'm going to be deciding which book to read next out of my huge collection. There's actually another shelf down below, front and back, except for the top shelf. That's all the books I have on the top shelf. But all the others, it's like books, books, books. So yes, I will be choosing a book soon to read. And let me know your thoughts down below. Bye!